Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host, Josh Sias. And I'm going to jump right in this episode. Today's episode is going to be about Edgar Berlanga and the lackluster performance that we're not used to seeing from the young champion from Puerto Rico out of New York City. Now, I am going to come out and say this. I'm not going to sit here and say that Edgar Berlanga got exposed. I still think he has a promising future. He has tremendous power, and he's young. He's still developing. And quite frankly, you can't really judge a fighter based off of one fight. Anybody can get caught. And I think people really need to realize that Edgar Berlanga was in with someone that gave Billy Joe Saunders a tremendous run for his money. Now, am I going to sit here and say that there are certain imperfections in the diamond that Edgar Berlanga was viewed as? Yes. I'm noticing that Edgar Berlanga doesn't have proficient head movement. I'm noticing that his defense is a little basic. I feel like he has a very parry heavy defense, and it's very, very basic. Now, there's nothing wrong with the basic defense. However, you have to switch it up. You can't parry every shot. And that's what I saw Edgar Berlanga doing. Every single time, every shot would come, he would try to parry the jab, knock away the right hand, and that left hand would be down. His jab would come out the same speed, and he's a little flat-footed for my taste and doesn't really put the pressure intelligently as he should. One thing I will say is I think Andre Rozier lost his job last night. He literally was in a fight on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, because Wilder Fury 3, the first fight, well, not the first fight, the first trilogy, or the first Wilder versus Fury 3, in my opinion, didn't have the promotion that this one did. Clearly, it was a different time, and it got dampened a little bit with what happened to Tyson Fury, that the fight got canceled. Conspiracy theories aside, this pay-per-view was a good collaboration between PBC and ESPN. This was a focal showcase of both of their stables' talent. And Edgar Berlanga seemed to be the darling of ESPN. You had a lot of mainstream social stars really, really look at Edgar Berlanga, Lil Wayne, Fat Joe. His stock was meteoric. He was knocking everyone out in the first round. And the first fight, he went the distance with the last guy he fought. And then now there seemed to be a decline. Do I feel Edgar Berlanga won the fight? Yeah, I either had it a draw based off the knockdown, or I had Edgar Berlanga winning by one round. However, I just don't like what Rozier is doing. I feel that he doesn't really know what to do in terms of developing Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga is a tough fighter, tough, strong kid. His chin, we don't know yet. Coceres, I know people are like, oh, you lost to an Uber driver, blah, 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 blah. But Coceres is a very solid fighter out of Argentina, I believe. So I'm not going to knock Coceres. He had a great performance, was moving laterally. You can tell he clearly is a veteran in the sense that he knows how to survive, give different looks, change the pace, and counterpunch. And you're going to run into those guys when you're a fighter, especially at the level that Edgar Berlanga is right now. But one thing that needs to stop, he's not ready for Canelo. He's not ready for Jaime Munguia. He's not ready for guys that have a little more polish, where he's not going to knock him out with one punch because he's a little susceptible. And I know now excuses are coming out. Oh, my bicep hurt. That's not the reason why he got punched over the top of the counter right hand. Your jab seemed to be pumping. And if it was your bicep, your jab wouldn't have been able to extend and retract the way it did. So I get it. You're a little embarrassed, but just say, hey, look, I need to get back in the gym. And I think he needs to switch trainers. I normally don't like saying that because at the end of the day, it's down to the fighter. But Andre Rozier is almost treating Edgar like he's a kid. Yeah, he is young, but all this, push-ups when you make a mistake, all the, power, like a simple defense. I feel like he needs to just go with the team that is going to develop his attributes. Edgar Berlanga can box. I've seen him box in the amateurs. He's part of the New York circuit, And I think, yes, he has power, but as you get better and you elevate, people are going to get your timing down. So you got to switch the cadence of the jab. Maybe go to the body a little more when you're not finding success swinging for the head. I didn't see the polish that I would expect from a corner that's experienced. Like Andre Rozier, good trainer, but maybe he's just not a good fit for Edgar Berlanga. I didn't like the things that I was hearing in the corner. I don't like the development. I feel like he's getting technically worse, in my opinion, or staying stagnant. And both of those are indicators that maybe it's time that when you go to the next level, you need to switch trainers. I'm not sure who he should go with because I personally think there are a lot of good offensive trainers, but I think he needs to work on some defense and getting the head movement going. I do think maybe a Freddie Roach would be good because he does have tremendous power and Freddie will maximize the offense of Edgar Berlanga. But Freddie Roach is also old and maybe at the tail end of his career, and working with his assistants isn't working with the man himself. Maybe a Manny Robles. Manny Robles is a really solid trainer. And truthfully, I hate saying this, but Edgar Berlanga has a God gift in power. So why not go to Abel Sanchez? I mean, he took Triple G as far as he did, and he's a younger, fresher. Maybe he could pick up that style. Or there are a bunch of Puerto Rican trainers that you can go to as well. Maybe that's a better fit since he wants to be over there. But right now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like what I'm seeing out of him. So I just wanted to touch on that. What do you guys think? He got dropped. Do you think he won? Do you think Coceres got robbed? Let me know. Just keep in mind, he did almost beat Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders had to pull one out of the bag and knock him out because it was a very close fight. So did Edgar Berlanga's stock go down? Is it the same? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much and have a great day.